It's your girl, Kid Cactus, and today we've got some give me a high five, spanking new Destiny 2 news, courtesy of the Bungie weekly update that has just gone live, revealing official information. And so, can you say, let's get started?
Let's get started.
Alright. So, first things first, what's been going on this week with Destiny 2? Well, on the Tuesday weekly reset, your boy became public enemy #1, dude. So, what the heck happened? Well, on that Tuesday, Iron Banner launched. This is the first time we're getting an Iron Banner since the release of the Edge of Fate. It was supposed to come back revamped with Ashen Iron. But there was massive community outrage about Iron Banner before it was even out, because people discovered by looking at the concept art of a cool set that was recently added to Eververse that it had an Iron Banner insignia on it. It was originally meant for Iron Banner, and Bungie took it out of Iron Banner and shoved it into Eververse. Meanwhile, we were just supposed to get a reskinned armor set for Iron Banner. So this lit an absolute firestorm. People were furious about this, like just more content shoved into Eververse, right? But just before Iron Banner went live, Bungie made this tweet that they've heard our feedback and they've updated the current Iron Banner set. They have added a set that was meant for Eververse into the game as the new Iron Banner set. So they removed a set from Eververse, and now it is the currently dropping Iron Banner armor set. And I tweeted the following: honestly, Bungie W. We complained that the set originally designed for Iron Banner was shoved into Eververse, so they've taken the Eververse set and made it the new Iron Banner armor. Guys, I might as well have committed a war crime on camera, dude. People were absolutely furious at me and clowning on me for saying Bungie W. I was the #1 Bungie shill on the internet that day. Yes, that's right. The guy who made 2 massive rant videos ripping into Bungie less than a week apart, guys, is now a shill because I said one positive tweet. Okay, so let me explain what's going on here. First of all, why were people so mad? Well, I looked at a lot of the replies, of the quote tweets, my summary of why people were mad at me for saying Bungie W. And if you are someone who's mad at me and I get this wrong, let me know in the comment section. But my understanding of the summary is that we should not be saying Bungie W when it's simply Bungie fixing a problem that they created. It would be like if your neighbor throws garbage into your yard every day and then one day he doesn't, you wouldn't be like, wow, W neighbor, best neighbor. You'd be like, finally, we're getting back to the baseline. We're getting back to what things should be because we're in this, toxic relationship, for lack of a better term. And honestly, that's a good point. That's a good point. And frankly, I agree with that. Like, should we really be praising Bungie that much for like putting a set back in when they specifically purposely took one out? Maybe not. And then looking back, I probably shouldn't have said Bungie W. I should have said something like, okay, I'm surprised by this, but this is a step in the right direction. This is the first step of many more steps that absolutely need to be taken, right? There's a lot of people say you shouldn't be praising them at all. I'm personally going to disagree with that. The reason I wanted to say something is simply this. In my massive rant video tearing Bungie apart for the Iron Banner armor debacle, typical shill behavior, I specifically said in that video what Bungie can do in the short term to remedy this is like immediately start taking sets out of Eververse and adding them to activities that need it. And they did literally that. So like, what kind of a complete jerk would I be if I publicly said Bungie should do this and they literally did exactly that? And I'm like, well, you're not getting any praise from me. Like, I understand people, like, don't get me wrong. If you're like, no, Bungie is like deep in the pit of things they need to make up for, and I'm not giving them any praise until I'm happy with the state of the game. That is totally fair, dude. Like, completely fair. I'm just saying, for me personally, if I publicly say this is something you should do and then they do that, I'm going to say, I'm glad you did that, right? I'm glad you did that. Because another reason, and I don't want to get too much into this because I said this in my rant video, is like, clearly there's different perspectives going on at Bungie. Someone at the studio made the right decision and commissioned a new sick armor set as Iron Banner armor. The artist isn't just gonna come up with new Iron Banner armor on his own. He's told by someone at Bungie, we're designing a new Iron Banner armor set, here are the themes, go. Someone else, likely in upper management, said, this set is looking too cool, let's remove it from Iron Banner, we'll put this in Eververse and we'll just do a reskin for Iron Banner. That is a huge problem. And so for me personally, I think if I'm calling out the bad, if I'm calling out when Bungie does bad, I also want to be calling out the good, saying even if it's like not technically a W, even if they're just fixing something they broke in the first place, I think it's good to be on record saying this is good. We want more stuff out of Eververse so that some Sony exec looking in can be like, hey guys, they're mad when you do this. They're happy when you do this. Why the heck are we shoving everything into Eververse, right? And hopefully the competing minds at Bungie, the people who want the best for the players, if there are any of those people, will win out. Maybe that's too altruistic, but that's just my personal opinion on the matter. Shouldn't have said Bungie W. I do actually completely agree with like why are we heaping praise on them when they shouldn't have done this in the first place? So yeah, that shouldn't have, I was just surprised, guys. It was less than a week from the community outrage to flipping the armor set. It was less than a week. I was just shocked they actually pulled it off. Anyways, guys, I took my licks. I'm still taking licks, but maybe I deserved them. I did deserve them. I shouldn't have said Bungie W. You should have just said, hey, step in the right direction. Anyways, Iron Banner came out. And I guess, dude, I kind of took the heat from Bungie because people were not happy with Iron Banner. There's a couple of things that people immediately noticed, and one of those things is that there's like really no new Iron Banner weapons. Of the stuff that you can earn, of the Iron Banner weapons that are in this new tier system, it's like one hand cannon, the finite impactor, and then they added like the Phonotria Fera and some other stuff from other sources into Iron Banner. So you're getting the stuff from Arms Week as your Iron Banner end rewards. Like, what? Like, to me, it's like, Bungie, no one said you had to add Iron Banner back now, right? Like, if it needed more time in the oven, let it cook. Like, no one was like, oh my gosh, I feel so empty, and the reason I'm mad at Destiny 2 right now is because Iron Banner isn't here. Literally, no one was saying that. Destiny 2 has so many problems right now. Iron Banner not being back is not one of them. And so if you could only manage to get one new Iron Banner weapon as a tiered weapon, oh my goodness, delay it further. Like, I just don't understand why we're releasing it now in such a half-baked state. So thank God they changed the armor set up, because it's like pretty much would be no interesting rewards. But speaking of armor, the way that the Iron Banner bonus system is calculated, where you get a skill bonus for putting on Iron Banner stuff, it no longer counts ornaments. You have to actually physically put on the new armor. So, but that is so annoying. It's like, dude, I have to redo my entire build. I have like a PvP build. I have to like try to get the same archetypes that I had. Like, what? I don't know. To me, that seems like a step in the wrong direction. You know, it was kind of nice being able to throw on ornaments and everyone's wearing their Iron Banner, you know, ornaments for Iron Banner. So that was another huge thing of people were like, why aren't my ornaments working? Like, what is going on here? No, you have to use the physical new armor, which I think is a huge mistake. So unfortunately, just Iron Banner came back despite Bungie doing, I still think, a positive thing and changing the armor. Just, it was received so poorly. And so we have Ashen Iron received poorly. Next week, Iron Banner, that's supposed to be like kind of this big, we're bringing back Iron Banner with Ashen Iron, received poorly as well. But something else happened on the Tuesday that's a lot more fun, at least for us players, and that is a massive game-breaking glitch. If you use a lightweight frame sword and you have no ammo and you jump and then light attack, you do a bungillion damage, okay? You do so much damage, and it can actually combine with the current Sturm glitch that's also in the game, so you do even more damage. If you want to know, you know, some more details, check out my video on the situation linked right up above. But Bungie is actually being pretty chill about this glitch. They originally said, all right, guys, you know, we're going to fix this tomorrow. And then they said, we don't want to disable lightweight frame swords. We're going to now fix it on September 23rd, which is the next weekly reset. So you have all weekend to absolutely nuke whatever boss you want in Destiny 2. I was doing the Desert Perpetual raid with 5 feats on, and it was so easy. Like, it is crazy. If you can get a team together, definitely try to go and do high feat Desert Perpetual runs to get that juicy, like, tier 5 raid loot. If you can't get a raid team together, a lot of people are doing their solo flawless dungeons right now because you can just nuke every single dungeon boss so easily. So absolutely, guys, take advantage of this glitch while you still can. All right, now moving on from there to the brand new information within the TWID. All right, now the first thing Bungie does talk about is the various ways they're attempting to improve the game. They say finding the path. Over the past several weeks, we have been adjusting, tuning, and tweaking portal rewards. And they say we're releasing another live update today to increase the number of rewards dropping from Fireteam and Pinnacle activities. And here is the tweet they put out regarding this live update. You can see the different activities affected. Now, on top of that, they talk about raid and dungeon rewards updates, saying that a major piece of feedback is that since the Edge of Fate came out, the new raid really doesn't feel that rewarding. So they say in next week's update, so that's coming out again September 23rd, they're going to be doing the following: increasing the power gains from completing encounters in the Desert Perpetual raid between 300 to 500 power level, regardless of the number of feats active, and 500 beyond for 4+ feats. In addition, the Desert Perpetual raid rewards will now drop starting at tier 3, with additional feats increasing the chance for tier upgrades. Now, this could be absolutely huge because right now it's dropping at tier 1, and then you get the triumph to get up to tier 2, and then with 5 feats, the best you can get is guaranteed tier 4 with a chance for tier 5. But if now tier 1 is being upgraded all the way to tier 3, if the baseline is tier 3, then the triumph would make it tier 4, and then feats would easily get you to guaranteed tier 5s? Maybe, again, we're gonna have to see how this works, but it should just overall mean way more tier 5 raid drops, guys. Now, the Desert Perpetual raid Cutthroat Combatants modifier will now count as 2 feats when determining reward quality as well. That's actually huge. You can put that on, and then you don't have to have the feat for the challenge mode, for example. And then finally, removing weekly friction to exotic weapon rewards in Legacy, raid, and dungeon activities. These will now have a chance to drop each time their source encounter is completed. Wow, so if you're missing a raid or a dungeon exotic, you can just grind the boss encounter over and over and over again and potentially get it. That actually is pretty big. Now, moving on from there, they also say they're adjusting the power climb. They say, we've been working in the direction of improving the power of your drops in the portal and the Desert Perpetual raid. On Tuesday, we took a few steps forward with update 9.1.0.1 by incrementally upgrading the power of drops in certain power bands that weren't where we wanted them to be. But we're intending to take even bigger strides forward in an upcoming patch. Here's the plan. First off, we're working on speeding up the power climb even further. There's also going to be bonus engram power updates and catch-up mechanics to help your friends on the power climb. All of that sounds good, but is the new power and leveling system flawed from the get-go? Are we just improving a flawed system? Should we just ditch it and go back to the old system of, powerful drops and pinnacle drops from a various amount of sources? That's, I think, the real question Bungie's going to have to tackle. But regardless, good to see that they're at least attempting to improve this new system. So, speaking of those things, we have the bonus engrams power update. We want bonus engrams to be a source of motivation, encouraging you to play the variety of activities in the portal for progression and providing a pathway to constantly gain additional power. To do so, and in the interest of helping more players get to the mountaintop, bonus engrams from portal activities will contribute to the power climb all the way into the 550 cap. That's actually huge. You're going to be able to get to 550 way easier because of that. Also, catching up to your friends. If you've missed part of the power climb or you're still feeling too far behind, don't worry. We're going to add a new catch-up mechanic that will help jumpstart you into earning power and higher tiered rewards. Our goal is to ensure there are lots of opportunities to earn more powerful and higher tier loot, even if you are flying in during the later part of a season. More details soon. Again, that's a good thing. Then we have more weekly powerful rewards. The weekly ritual is not giving enough rewards for the power climb right now. That is very true. The weekly resets don't feel special. There are several weekly bumps built into the portal as part of the seasonal hub weekly reward track, but we want logging into the game each week at reset to feel more meaningful. So they say in the future, seasons like Lawless, after the Renegades expansion goes live, we want players who consistently finish their weeklies to reach the top of the power climb with plenty of time to earn all the rewards they want. Earning additional power rewards beyond weeklies, such as playing the expansion or the portal, should be an additional option to accelerate your progress even faster, rather than feeling like the only way to make progress. In 9.1.0, we took the first steps by enhancing the weekly ritual, adding new challenges to the Desert Perpetual raid, for example, and they did, like, the first time you do Desert Perpetual each week, you get double rewards, which is pretty nice, and they intend to develop a more robust weekly challenges for future expansions and seasons. Okay, so those are the things they're planning on changing, especially in the short term here, and hopefully that stuff works out. So moving on from there, Bungie says Iron Banner is back. We talked about everything going on with Iron Banner earlier in the video. Bungie acknowledges that, yeah, they did swap out the visuals of the armor. Some things may be incorrect because of this last-minute swap. You can see the new armor right here. And there you go. They also mentioned that Iron Banner ends at the server reset on September 23rd, so make sure to finish up the rewards pass and stuff if you want it. Notice the picture is literally just the one Iron Banner hand cannon, yeah. Anyways, moving on from there, they talk about the epic raid is almost here. So, they say CB Gray and Evan F will be hosting another big raid watch stream starting on September 27th at 6 a.m. Pacific on the Bungie Twitch channel. There's going to be some exclusive interviews as well. There's a watch reward if you are tuning in, and you can see this emblem as the watch reward right here, guys. And they also talk about following the race. You have the different sources of these Twitch channels that are doing kind of watch parties, and they also importantly have updated the race rules. So they say streaming is required still, but only one member of the 6 fire teams must stream. The stream must be live on YouTube, Twitch, or Bilibili. That was actually huge. There's a lot of people, for example, Chinese players, who they literally cannot stream on YouTube or Twitch, right? Like Bilibili's their only option. So Bungie did make that change. There's also going to be a designated overlay that you need to use. You can't black out more of your stream and all of that stuff, guys. But you can see the information right here. What are you guys thinking about this epic raid race? Do you have any desire to participate, watch it? For me, the hype is pretty low. I don't really care. I don't even know if I'm gonna do it, to be honest. Like, I certainly don't have a team. I'm just kind of I don't know if I want to spend another 16 hours in Desert Perpetual. I'm an old man now, guys. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Moving on from there, we have the Bungie Bounty for Good. You can see the information right here, guys, with the associated emblem as the reward. And the final thing we're going to go over is a patch note preview for that upcoming September 23rd patch. So, Graviton Spike, reduced bonus AoE damage on stasis overcharge hits versus players from 30 to 1. Then for the Grand Overture, they're reversing the nerf, so they're buffing the reserves back up to 58 from currently 48. The Queenbreaker, they're reverting the nerfs to the Queenbreaker. Then for Chromatic Fire, they've returned the super-based elemental debuff application, so they're reversing that nerf. The Controverse Hold reinstated the energy return for Vortex Grenades, as well as their ability to trigger the exotic perk twice. So, I already thought the change from Controverse Hold was still overall like gonna be pretty beneficial. Now they're reversing the one downside, which was that Vortex grenades couldn't recharge as fast. Again, you get like free weaken now. So honestly, I'm really excited to make a Controverse Hold build starting next week. Then the young Ahamkara's spine, they fixed an issue where the spine wasn't granting the correct amount of grenade energy, guys, and also it should now always give the intended plus 8% for guardian kills and plus 33% for combatant kills. And a couple more things. They fixed an issue where grenade and melee stats were giving less passive energy regeneration than intended. They fixed an issue where purchasing an archived pass from the monument to the season's pass would not provide the right resources. They fixed an issue where the pressure cooker did not allow players to receive their time bonus, and in Reclaim, Briggs will now do more damage across all difficulties, guys. So there you have it, guys. That's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCactus, that is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.